Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here at the 2019 Minco High School Sports Assembly. It's been a really good year of athletics. Tonight we're here to honor our athletes and our teams and our coaches. But before we get started, I'd like to have James Overton come up, and he's going to lead us in a word of prayer. Following James will be Coach Little with his softball awards.
Bow with me. Dear God, I just thank you for today and thank you for allowing all of us to be here today to fellowship with one another. I just want to say thank you for Minco schools and the athletic programs that you've blessed us with here. I also want to say thank you for allowing everyone to travel safely here today, and I pray for safe travels on the way home. It's your name I pray. Amen.
All right, at this time I'd like the fast pitch softball team to come on up. All right. Thank you all for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. We're here to honor these athletes. And I came a little more prepared this year. Last year I didn't do a really good job of recognizing all the accomplishments of those girls. You get up here and, of course you get a little nervous and you forget all the stuff you were going to say. So I actually wrote it down. And excuse me that I'm going to have to do this. All right. First, I'd like to thank Minco School Board, Mr. Sims, Mr. Shirley, Mr. Whitrock. Definitely Coach Mock. Couldn't do it without her. Couldn't do it without the support of all those that are involved, including the Booster Club, every parent, including the previous years, and our fabulous scorekeeper, Josh McNeil. This year's team has the distinction of winning the first district championship by going 11-1. Now, they've changed it up a little bit where we don't play a district tournament and they put us in districts, kind of like football does. So they're the first ones to win it. Give them a round of applause. They finished second in the conference for the sixth time and had a 30-7 overall record, and the first group in my 7 years to win 30 games. Give them another hand. They played in 50 games or scrimmages from July 27th to September 29th. There's only 47 days, not counting any rainouts, that we could have played when you take out the Wednesdays and Sundays. And we never take Wednesdays off, and sometimes we even practice on Sundays. They play through bruises, exhaustion, dehydration, injuries, sore arms, being mad at me, being mad at each other, and it's very rare that they complain about any of it. Mostly because they know I don't really listen. I care, but I don't really listen. I usually give the same response, and I don't think they want to hear the response, and there's a med kit involved. That amount of sacrifice for something bigger than themselves is something most kids and parents will never understand. They love to be challenged, they love to compete, and most of all, they love each other. They celebrate each other's successes, and their heart breaks for each other when we fall short, and they pick each other up. Those are some of the proudest moments that a coach can experience, and we've experienced a lot, especially this group of seniors over the last 4 years. I applaud you. It's not easy. It is not easy. And you make it fun. You make it some of the best times that I've ever had because you give so much of yourselves. So thank you. This group of seniors has amassed an astonishing 111-24 record. That's an 822 winning percentage. I didn't look it up, but it's probably going to be top 5 in Class 2A and probably top 5 if we were to put our record in all classes. That's incredible. Round of applause. In your 4 years, you've won 4 district championships, 2 regional championships, and 2 state tournaments, and we're 1 out away from going back to the state tournament for the 3rd straight year. I will definitely say you've set the bar really high for what incoming freshmen have to strive for. And everything I could ever ask from you as part of a team and as individual players. It has truly been an awesome experience and an honor to have been a part of it. Thank you. Now we're going to do some individual recognition. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the girls too. Our seniors, Cassidy Franklin, if you want to step forward when I call your name. Cassidy. Maddie Munn. Celie McComas. Our juniors, Carly Herndon. Grace Martinez. Destiny Bliss. Angelica Valdez. Our sophomore, Lainey Hughes. And our freshman, Alex Valdez, Ashlyn Price, Laura Lee Salazar, Piper Journey Cake, and Taylon Redinger. And for our first award, Offensive MVP. This individual has had a pretty fantastic career. This year she had a 531 average, 574 on base percentage, 43 RBIs, and 7 home runs. Offensive MVP, Celie McComas. Our defensive MVP, this individual had an 18-4 record, 174 strikeouts, and a .993 ERA. Now these statistics are regular season. I didn't include postseason. So our defensive MVP, Carly Herndon. And for our second year, we're going to be giving the Hoppy Award. This individual has exemplified what it means to be a team player. Athletically, she's probably the most athletic kid that we have on the team. She's also probably one of the best at any position with the exception of pitcher. And because of such a difficult job, she probably didn't get to show a lot of her athleticism. I got to see a lot of it in slow pitch, but that to me is the sacrifice that a team player makes. They put themselves after the team. I never heard her complain. Well, I heard her complain, but not about the position, just because it's tough. She deserves this. So the Hoppy Award, second annual Hoppy Award, goes to Maddie Munn. All right. This year we had 5 all-conference players. I'd like to recognize those. Taylon Redinger, step on out. Carly Herndon. Cassie Franklin. Celie McComas. And Maddie Munn. Seeley was also named for the second year as the conference MVP and honored as an OCA All-State player. All right, at this time, if the slow pitch girls could come on up and join us, please. All right, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the girls that did not play fast pitch first so we can get them recognized. I'm going to start with our seniors. Liz McMahon, Lauren Price, No, I'm seniors.
Oh, seniors. I'm about to, yeah, that's it.
All right, that's it. And then our sophomores, Alexis Howe and Masia Moore.
Ella.
Stella. And our freshman, Ella Russell. All right, again, I'd like to thank Minco Schools, the school board, Mr. Sims, Mr. Shirley, Mr. Whitrock, and Coach Mock. She's awesome. I'd like to thank the Booster Club and, again, every parent. Thank you for being involved in your kids. Okay, we do all of this stuff for them. It's not about us, it's about them. And we honestly couldn't do it without you. Okay, we had a fun yet frustrating 16-10 record. We were ranked in the top 10 for most of the season and really came a long way from the beginning of the year. For some, it was their first year to play or even swing at a slow pitch, and it showed when we first started. We all began to learn the importance and dividends that slow pitch would pay going forward. It's no surprise that some of the top slow pitch teams in the state are also some of the top fast pitch teams as well. It really is a great game that forces you to become an extremely efficient defensive team. And I'm going to go ahead and eat a little crow because I never really saw, I was such a baseball guy that I didn't see how it would pay off playing this game. And so for all of you that played before I started coaching it, I commend you. You did a great job. We were playing our best by the end of the season and fell short, but we really saw a lot of improvement on both offense and defense. We brought it every day and left everything on the field. I really didn't expect to have this much fun while getting better at the same time. You guys really made this coach appreciate every minute I got to spend with you. So thank you. Give him a hand. All right, at this time I'd like to recognize our offensive MVP. She had a .566 average, 47 RBIs, 44 runs, and 13 home runs. This couldn't have been her, could it? Jeez, Maddie Munn. All right. Now at this time we have two co-defensive MVPs. They both did such a great job. I'm not sure that we can replace this individual or both of these individuals. You guys got some big shoes to fill. As I said before, this individual, probably the most athletic kid on the field. Depending on who we're playing, I don't know that I would ever say that she's not. I think the putouts may be wrong, but that's okay. She had a .919 fielding percentage. Probably had, I think it was 180 putouts or something like that. I think it says 18, but I don't think it's 18. You did a great job, Matt. Thank you. Maddie Munn. And the other co-defensive MVP had a 14-5 record, .952 fielding percentage, through 121 innings, 13 walks, and 25 Ks. the co-defensive MVP, Cassidy Franklin. All right, and I went ahead and added one more award, kind of like I do for fast pitch. I used to call this our Bulldog Award in fast pitch, and I changed it to the Hoppy. She knows how much she means to me, these girls, this school, and I know what she had to play through, and I don't know that I can ever thank her enough, as well as the girls. So the Bulldog Award goes to Celie McComas. You got any stuff or anything? Okay. Are you giving us stuff? Oh. All right. Thank you, ladies.
I don't know which is which.
I don't either. Just leave them there. We'll get them afterwards.
It's wonderful. You'll love it.
All right, I'm obviously not Coach Whalen. We're going to be doing baseball right now, but Coach Whalen and his wife welcomed the baby boy yesterday, so I'm stepping in for him. Yeah, you can give him a round for that, yeah. All right, I'm going to start off by bringing our baseball team up. As they're coming up, I'll just kind of announce who they are. We had the freshman, number 43, Isaac Oakes. Bryce Williams, number 33. Luke Clement, number 30. Number 8, Gavin Johnson. Number 7, Dylan Warden. Number 4, Breck Alexander. Number 2, Will Holding. Sophomores, we had number 12, Austin Brothers. Number 11, Jackson Overton. Number 21, Keenan Mullings. Juniors, we had number 1, Bobby Winans. Number 5, Bretton Alexander. Number 10, Josh McNeil. Number 14, Parker Winters. Number 22, Lane McMahon. And our 2 seniors, number 3, Wyatt Conley. And number 18, James Overton. Here's your 2019 Bulldog baseball players. All right, I'll start off by saying this is a fun group. I've coached these guys, most of these guys, since my 5 years, 4 years, however long I've been here, in some aspect, football, baseball. They're a very energetic, very determined group, and that's no different in baseball. Our season didn't quite go as planned. Coach Whalen will take some of the blame for that with scheduling, but our overall record went 12-4. We lost in districts, fought really hard in districts, came really close to pushing our season on into regionals. But I know for a fact on the games I did get to make when I won at junior high, this baseball team came a very long way from the beginning of the season. We were playing really good ball, and it just things didn't happen our way at the end. And it only happens for one team at the end of the year when it's all said and done anyways. But it's a great group of young men. They worked their tails off. They got better day in, day out. And like I said, they were playing some really good baseball. They have no reason to hang their heads for how the season ended up. All right. At this point, we're going to do our awards for the baseball teams. I'll start off with the ACE Award. All right, this award goes to the best pitcher on our team, our number 1, our ace, who did a really, really good job. This kid came in throughout the season, big games. He became our one pretty quick, and we figured that out fast. And he finished the year with 29 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts, an ERA of 1.93, 3 total wins. And this will be our ACE Award goes to Wyatt Conley. Next one I'll do is our The Bulldog Award. This one goes to an overall player that just carries himself very well, has a great work ethic, has a positive attitude. He's a great teammate. And top all that off, he was a very, very good baseball player today. I almost said football. But he's a very good baseball player for us this year. He played all over the field for us, played left, played third, played short, played second, pitched a ton, and he had a really good year at the plate as well. The Bulldog Award, he had a fielding percentage of .906, batting average of .343, an ERA of .940, and our Bulldog Award goes to Bretton Alexander. Next, I'll go to our defensive MVP. This kid did the same for our club this year as well. Played all over the field for us. Infield, outfield. He was kind of our plugger. Whoever was pitching, we moved him. And he didn't bat an eye, didn't ever complain, and he had a really, really good year fielding and putouts as well. But he, with his overall fielding percentage of .914, our defensive MVP is Austin Brothers. Our last award will be our offensive MVP. Kid had a great career. Kind of gives it away, but had a great career. Finished this season with the .433 batting average, on-base percentage of .493, hit 20 home runs, hit 4 in his career, hit 2 this season. Offensive MVP, James Overton. RBIs, not 20 home runs. And at this time, from Coach Whalen to these seniors, Coach Whalen got them a commemorative Minco bat here. Wyatt Conley, his career batting average at .280 with a home run and 30 RBIs. Sorry. And from Coach. And then James Overton had a .415 batting average his career with 4 home runs. James Overton. There you go. All right, 2019 Bulldog Baseball. Thank you. I forgot about somebody with baseball, but Kevin, you should come up here. But Kevin Russell was our bat boy, manager, whatever you want to call him. But he helped out a lot this year. And what, you coming up here? But the players got a gift for Kevin, so. All right, while I'm up here, I'm going to introduce a few of our power lifters we had here in the winter. Some that participated in a couple different meets. We went to Bridge Creek, we went to Anadarko, we went to regionals, and a few of us had the opportunity to go participate at state. I want to recognize those boys for their hard work here in the winter. If you don't know anything about powerlifting, it's just a bunch of sweaty boys in a hot gym trying to lift as much weight as they can. It's not the most exciting thing as a coach because you guys sitting there all day long. But what I really do appreciate is our boys' work ethic and their attitudes toward it, and they really do love it. And I appreciate them for that for sure. But I'll recognize these guys. Just come up as I call you if you're here. Keenan Mullings, Lane McMahon, Kenny Fouch, Yoel Laura, Aiden Howery, Bryce Williams, Garrison Bass, Bobby Winans, Luke Clement, Justin Hurley, Caleb Caruth, Orlando Vasquez, Gavin Johnson, Elizabeth McMahon, Cheyenne Smith. Bulldog Powerlifters. Like I said, these guys work really hard in the off season, and their sport, I guess, is I don't want to call it not a sport, but it's lifting weights, and they work their tails off in the weight room, and they get to go to a couple powerlifting meets to try and show to themselves that, what their hard work's, if it's paying off or not, and it definitely did. We had 5 state qualifiers this year that made it to state. You want to step forward. Kenny Fouch, Aiden Howery, Justin Hurley, Caleb Caruth, and Orlando Vasquez. These guys qualified for state and went to the state meet in El Reno. We had a couple of freshmen that went to junior high state and placed at junior high state. Yoel Laura got 5th. Bryce Williams got 4th. Is Gavin here? All right. These two placed at junior high state. Cheyenne's not here. Just Liz. Liz went to girls state this year. They started doing this. They really amped up girls powerlifting here in our state, which is a really good thing. Liz has worked her tail off in the weight room her whole career since I've known her, and they finally started the girls state so she can go compete actually against girls instead of against the boys. And at girls state this year, she finished 3rd, correct? She finished 3rd at girls state. Give her a round. That's all I got. Thank you, guys.
All right, I'd like to start off so I do not forget thanking Coach Brummel. Coach Brummel helped me with the junior high and the 5th and 6th graders this year with track, and that was a huge help. In the past, it's been me at most of those meets by myself, and I really do appreciate you for everything that you did for me in those at those track meets. Now I'd like to introduce our track members. I'll start with the freshmen. As I call your name, come up. Laura Lee Salazar, Natalie Carballo, J.C. Reynolds, Lacey Williams, Madison Workman, and the boys, Talon Vickery and Yoel Laura. Sophomores, Asher Kelly, Cooper Hoyle, Trevor Morris, Nick Birchfield, Orlando Vasquez, Aiden Howery, and Lance Littlejohn. Juniors, Justin Hurley, Corbin Birchfield, Max Morrison, Caleb Caruth, Kenny Fouch, Nick Winston. And then our seniors, Chance Singleton, George Caballo, and Elizabeth McMahon. I want to start off by saying how extremely proud I am of these guys. Track's not at all a glorious sport. You go out every single day and run your absolute tail off, and then your reward is to go out, stay out all day in the hot sun and run some more. I can't appreciate enough how hard these guys have worked and everything they've done throughout this year. I do want to recognize a few of them that were able to make it to state this year. These four freshman girls, step up, please. These 4 qualified in the 4x800, the 2-mile relay. Were able to participate there. Didn't quite get a medal, but was very close. I would also like Lainey Hughes to stand up real quick. She's in the audience. She participated because one of ours wasn't able to make it. I do want to thank Lainey Hughes and give her a little round of applause for helping us out with that. Then let's go with the boys that have, let's go with Leah. Yeah, let's go boys first. Boys that made it to state, step out, please. Max Morrison made it in the high jump. His highest jump this year was a 5'10". Didn't quite get that at state. but we're pushing for about 6'2" next year. These other 4 qualified in 3 relays together: Iggy, Nick, George, and Corbin, and they ended up placing 4th at state in the 4x4 relay, and I believe they're about 0.2 of a second off of the state record, or not, school record in the 4x400 from what I can find. So they're close. Give them a round of applause. And then Corbin Birchfield placed 5th in the long jump. And then Nick Birchfield placed 3rd at state in the long jump. And then the last one, Liz, step out. Liz is a 3-time state qualifier in both hurdles for 3 different years. She's able to make it there. This year she qualified in the 110s and the 300s. Didn't quite go like she wanted it to, but I commemorate for her for all her hard work and everything that she's done throughout her career. I do have an award for each one of these seniors. If you guys would come over and I'll give you those awards. Elizabeth, George, and Chance. I want to say one more time how extremely proud I am of these guys and of all their hard work and everything they've done. Give them a round of applause one more time. All right, you guys can go.
Fifth place. No. Almost fifth place. What was that track?
Good evening, and thank you for coming tonight to honor these athletes. I'd like to thank again you parents and families who have supported your young athletes, young adults now, some of them, and thank you for letting me borrow them throughout basketball season. I know it's a long season, and sometimes it's pretty grinding, but I thank you for letting me borrow your young ladies. Administration, Booster Club, can't thank you enough for the support that you've given our team, myself, individually, as a coach and a teacher here at Minco Schools. Booster Club for providing things that we want and don't necessarily need, but we like them. And the girls will tell you we really like those things. And get to eat every once in a while, and just thank you for providing that. I want to thank Mike Morrison sitting here on the front row. If you see those caricatures out in the lobby, thank him for that. He put some time and effort into that, and the kids love them, absolutely love them. I don't know how long he's going to do that, but that's something they really like. So thank you, Mike, for doing that. Also, want to thank my assistant for sticking by me this year. She deals with a lot of Coach Brummel that you think you see the bad side of me sometimes. She sees the worst of me and still comes back every day. So thank Coach Mock for putting up with Coach Brummel. Thank my husband. He doesn't get to make it a lot of these things, and he deals with a lot of the worst of me too during basketball season. And thank you, David, for putting up with me. It's been a lot of years. I think 21 this year. He's put up with a lot of bad things in coaching. Good, bad, and ugly. Some of it pretty good. I'd like to introduce my team. As they come up, I'm going to introduce them by their number. So young ladies, come up here then. They look all nice and pretty tonight. I don't hardly ever get to see them like this. So, number 1, Natalie Carballo, my freshman. Number 2, Ashlyn Price. She's a freshman. Number 4, Laney Hughes, sophomore. Number 11, Cassidy Franklin, one of my seniors. Number 13, Emmy Douglas, senior. Number 24, Malaya Vasquez, junior. Number 25, Tommy Willie, she's a sophomore. Number 30, Ashley Ricky, she's a junior. Number 32, Lauren Price, is a senior. And she didn't suit out with us, but she practiced every day with us. Maisie Molnax, a transfer in from El Reno. She joined us this year, and she'll be playing with us next year. She's a junior. I also like for a couple of young ladies, actually 3 young ladies that helped us with our season. On the stats, Ty Whitrock. On film, Jillian Jenkins. And my manager dealt with the nasty towels and the water bottles all year, Emily Mock. I don't know if any of those young ladies are here, but I'd like to thank them. None of them came? Man, I'll keep their gift cards. No, I'm just playing. This year, before we get to some individual awards, our season record ended up a 16-11. Some of our achievements throughout the season is first tournament. Before we get to play too many season games, we play our Bulldog Classic. And we actually won that thing this year, and I was so proud of my girls. The odds were stacked against us. We had some injuries occur, and just one thing after another, and we ended up, I think, with 6 girls in that tournament. And my freshmen couldn't play because they were, committed to other tournaments throughout the year with the junior high as well. So we ended up beating Cordell in the first round of that in overtime after losing to them about a week prior to that. And then we beat Carnegie by 12 of the next game, I think it was. And then that was supposed to be we thought it was going to be a lot tougher game. We thought, man, it was going to be coming down to a nail biter, and we ended up beating them pretty solid. And then we ended up beating Union City by nearly 30, and we just beat them by 8 the week before. So we were looking for a good contest there, and we ended up beating them handedly in the finals. So we were really happy to win that Bulldog Classic this year. Another tournament we went to the Apache. It's called the Slick Hills Tournament this year instead of going to Hinton Tournament, and we won third in that tournament this year. We beat Fletcher, which is a really stout team in Class A. By 6 points in the third place game there. So I felt like we did pretty well in our tournaments. Didn't win anything at the Grady County, but we competed and took Rush Springs to overtime in the second game there, in the semifinal game, and lost it in overtime. But we gave them a run for the money. And then our playoffs, finishing up the season. We beat Dibble for the 3rd time this season in districts. And then we had to play number 5, Latta, in the finals of districts. And we thought we were going to get trounced. We were down 20-something, I think, at half. And I don't think it was anything I said, but the girls decided they didn't want to lose that bad. So they came back and they made it a ball game, and they had Latta scared. I'm telling you, we came back and got it within, I think, 4 or 6, and ended up getting beat by 8. But I was really proud of the effort they gave to come back in that game. Lost the district finals, of course, and then beat Savannah in at regionals, and lost to Ampo. Dadgum Ampo, that green team. They ended up number 11 in the state, and they beat us by 7 in that final game to end our season. And one of these days, they're going to get theirs. I'm telling you. I felt like this team overachieved in many ways this season. They were fun to coach because of the characteristics defined in an acronym that I kind of came up with, and they kind of adopted, I think. It's called HARD. And that acronym, those letters stand for hungry, accountable, relentless, and determined. And I think each one of these young ladies exemplifies those characteristics. And one of our parents got them a T-shirt, even the playoffs, to wear around. It says "hard" on it. If you see that and read it, that's what it is. We weren't always the most talented team on the floor, I don't feel like, but our goal was to compete and leave it all on the court and let our opponents know they were in a fight by the end of the game. Most of the games, they knew that. As our biggest fan, I know he's not here tonight, but Calvin Woodworth, he's one of our biggest fans. If you ever saw us as we were introduced, all the girls went over and gave him a big hug, and it made their day that he was there, and I think it made his day that they all came over and gave him a hug. And one of his quotes that he told me several years ago when he started coming to our practices and watching our games was, and this has always stuck with me, he said, "Win, lose, or draw, you leave it all on the floor. And you have no regrets." I hope the girls live by that in their life. Leave it all on the floor. Leave it all in your life. Don't have any regrets. And that's for Calvin, by the way. I guess I'll get to some awards before I get too emotional here, like I already am, I guess. I guess I'm already past that point. So, Coach Mock, you'll get me my Bulldog Award. My Bulldog Award goes to a young lady that works hard every day. She's dependable. She's committed, and she doesn't say a whole lot. But she's out there for example. And this young lady is not very big in stature, but she's got a big heart and plays her heart out every night, every day in practice. Lainey Hughes. All right, our most improved. This was kind of hard this year because I've got a couple of girls that really busted their tail this year. This young lady, like I said, in the Bulldog Classic, we had some things kind of go haywire, and this young lady stepped up and she filled some big shoes and came out and played a heck of defense for us and got some rebounds, and she shut down old Muncie. Wasn't liking her too much, and neither were some of those other girls. But Tommy Willie is my most improved this year. And one of my statistical awards that I give is Queen of the Boards, the rebounding queen. This young lady grabbed 160 rebounds, averaged 5.9 rebounds per game. And you say, well, that's not that many. Well, I don't have that many big girls out here. And when you can grab 6 rebounds a game on average, sometimes she had double figures in rebounds occasionally. So our Queen of the Boards this year is Lauren Price. All right, last two that I'm going to give, and normally I give a couple of other statistical awards, but these two young ladies, they kind of spoiled that and got almost every other statistical award that I could possibly give. So instead of giving them a ton of plaques, I just put all their stats on a big plaque for each of them and named them the co-MVPs this year. And I'm just going to read you some of their stats here. I got it on my paper. You can hold those. I don't need them. Emmy Douglas and Cassidy Franklin are my co-MVPs. Before I give them their awards, I want to read you some of their stats. Emmy had 393 points, averaging 14.6 points per game. She shot 41% from two-point field goal range, 32% from threes, 76% from the free throw line, and got there a bunch, by the way. And she had 114 rebounds, averaged 4.2 rebounds per game, had 42 assists, 1.6 a game, and 68 steals for 2.5 steals per game. Emmy Douglas. And this other one, Cassidy, I mean, if you remember any of those stats, they're real similar. She had 382 points this year on the season, 14.1 per game, 53% from 2-point field goal range, 29% from 3-point, 73% from the free throw line, 117 rebounds, 4.3 rebounds per game, 76 assists, 2.8 per game, 68 steals for 2.5. Now, how did they both get 68 steals on the season? I don't know. That has to be wrong, right? But Cassidy Franklin. Now, those ladies, and the next three I'm going to give are these senior awards, and I couldn't ask for better senior leadership this year. I don't feel like, from my vantage point. But just a little bit more about these two, and then Lauren added to it is just a bonus. But who do you have there? Emmy? Emmy is going to UCO to further her basketball career. Just did a little signing today. Is going to go play for UCO. And, yeah, going to be a Broncho. She was an OCA Class 2A All-Star. She was honorable mention for Little All-City and Daly, Oklahoma All-State. She made academic All-State for Oklahoma Girls Basketball Coaches Association. And what that entails is she had a 25 or better ACT, which she has a 27, and she ranked top 4 in her class. So Emmy is one of our seniors, and we're going to miss her greatly next year. Great leadership and all-around hustle and good player. Thank you, Emmy, for what you've done for Minco Athletics. All right, Cassidy, also great leader on and off the court. She's our point guard and kind of directed traffic. Her mom says she's just like an orchestrator, and yeah, she does. She just kind of points and they just go. And so we're going to miss that, and there's going to be some big shoes to fill in that point guard position next year. But Cassidy also made the OCA Class 2A All-Star team and honorable mention for Little All City and Daly, Oklahoma All-State. And Miss Cassidy is going to go play at SNU, the Crimson Storm, the Red Storm, I guess is what she's going to be. She's going to play at SNU, further her basketball career. And last but definitely not least, Lauren Price is, and she didn't have all the stats that those other two seniors did, but she was right there with them, leading them and encouraging her team and leading by example. And every once in a while, have to get on to some of them. And she did it in the right way, though. She was a good leader, and she also made academic All-State for Oklahoma Girls Basketball Coach Association. She had a 26 ACT and ranked top 4 in her class. And so Miss Lauren is going to go to Southwestern, SWASU, and be a Lady Bulldog or Bulldog cheerleader. So congratulations, Lauren. All right, I hope I haven't forgotten anything except for their banners. They get their banners that were hung in the gym, and Coach Mock's handing those out as we speak. And they also get to take those characters home that Mike drew for them. And so thank you, boosters, and First National Bank here in town. for providing those. Think. Coach Mock, is that all I have? All right, that's all I have.
no words can. It's this season. I was trying to get this speech ready, and I wanted to give the highlight film because there's so many great memories that happened. But at this time, would the 2018-19 boys basketball team come join me on stage, please? What a special group. As a coach, you dream about coaching a team like this. I mean, this is what it's all about, and these young men have really done an amazing job. As they come up here, I want to talk a little bit about my assistants. The first two, Coach Brady Wardlaw and Coach Salazar, we're getting to see the finished product of a lot what goes into our program. Coach Salazar coaches my 5th and 6th graders. Coach Wardlaw coaches my 7th and 8th graders, and they have just as much part of our program as anybody. We couldn't do it without you two. Thank you. The next 3 assistants, Jared McCormick, Briar Workman, and Ryan Beck. These 3 guys did an amazing job this year. I know it's not easy coaching for me. I sometimes had them drive all the way across the state to scout an opponent we might play, and we never did. Just a big thank you for that. They stayed up hours watching extra film for me. Very demanding of them. They did a great job. We also had, in my personal life, a baby kind of during season, and my wife was worried about it, and she said, what are we going to do if it happens during playoffs? And I said, man, I got 3 great assistants. They've been working hard. They're well prepared. Coach Beck's already had 3 kids. He can catch the baby. Coach McCormick can hold the hand, and Coach Workman can film it. So we're covered, you know. But no, these guys did a great job. I'm very proud of them. My managers, are they on stage with us? Clara Taylor and Maddie Munn, will you please come up here? These 2 young ladies do so much for us. Buying gifts for the kids, sweeping the floors, putting up with a bunch of smelly boys, laundry, taking care of the coach. They're both seniors. We're going to greatly miss them. I don't know how we'll replace them. They did a great job for us. Is Cooper Hoyle. I thought I saw him. Cooper Hoyle on stage. Oh, there he is. And Connor Poland. Come up. Cooper did our film for us this year. He filmed it. He did highlight films. He organized it for us. Did a great job. They also helped out with the managers if they couldn't be there. Cooper Hoyle and Connor Poland. Okay, I'm going to announce the players' names right now. We'll go off of their numbers. Number 0, Nate Dacus, freshman. Number 14, Dylan Warden, freshman. Number 22, Breck Alexander, freshman. Number 23, Ethan Ventris, freshman. Number 44, Tyler Cox, freshman. Will Holding, freshman. Sophomores, number 4, Nick Birchfield. Number 5, Tanner Voss. Number 10, Trevor Morris. Number 11, Jackson Overton. Number 12, Asher Kelly. Number 13, Cooper Shirley. Number 34, Chase Gore. Number 45, Austin Brothers. Number 0, Lane McKee. Number 44, Alex Sloniker. Juniors, number 2, Max Morrison. Number 3, Dane Brummel. Seniors, number 1, Dakin Rackley. And number 21, James Overton. Wow. These young men, going over the season, right from the start of last summer, we were overlooked. We were at a summer camp, and every coach there was talking about their team and, trying to motivate other teams, and they kept mentioning other teams at the camp, but we never got mentioned. It was always Carnegie, Hobart, and whoever else that could possibly play. And our kids took offense to it. I took offense to it. So we became known as the whoever else team. From right there on, we kind of rallied around each other. There was a lot of hard work in the off season, in the summer, and during season. We started off. I knew we were going to be good. I just didn't know how good. We had a lot of potential, but in this game, you don't know if it's going to mesh well. Luckily, we had great leadership, good coaching staff, great managers. Everything came together. We started rolling. Won our first few games, got into the Bulldog Classic. I knew that was going to be one of our toughest tournaments. There's 2 other top 5 teams in the state in that tournament. So it was a huge test for us. We ended up winning the tournament. And from there, I knew the sky was the limit. I knew we had a shot to be really good. But our goal was just to get better each and every day. So hopefully at the end of the year, we were the best that we could be. After the Bulldog Classic, we rolled on through Christmas, defeated our rivals in Ampo, which always feels good. Was undefeated going into Christmas, coming back out of it. We won the Apache Slick Hills tournament. Started the season off 13-0. That's pretty hard to do, especially with the schedule that we had in front of us. I just kept it rolling. We ended up beating Ampo in the Grady County tournament to be the Grady County champs. That's always was a goal, especially if you can beat Ampo twice in a year. It just feels good. We ended up finishing 7-0 in county. Won our Grady County regular season. Those are all the regular season accomplishments. Not to underestimate it, it was really hard to do. These kids, if any adversity hit, stay together, being injury or sickness. I was very proud of them. Give them a round of applause. When playoffs got here, we got sent way east. Never played a lot of these teams during the regular season, hadn't seen them in years. Really didn't know what to expect. And when they put Latta in our district, Latta was, in the last 6 years, has played in the state championship game 4 out of the last 6. So needless to say, it was kind of like, oh, wow, thanks, OSSAA. We ended up beating them in the district by 67-40. I won our district championship. Went on and won regionals by defeating Canadian. All the way into area where we beat Tallahena to punch our way to the state tournament. We won our first round game against Okima and got the opportunity to play in the big house, which is always a dream for coaches and players alike. Fell short to eventually the state champion, but these guys I couldn't be prouder. Even in one of our darkest moments, there's a picture of up there on the board. They still stayed together as a team. Even when things weren't going good, these guys never turned on each other. They never blamed each other. They stuck it out, and that is what I'm really proud of as a coach. I can't say enough about them. Individual awards throughout the season. The first things that come up was the Apache Slick Hills tournament. They pick an all-tournament team. We had 3 members of our team make that team. It was Nick Birchfield, Cooper Shirley, and Dakin Rackley. Cooper Shirley also was named Honorable Mention Little All City and Honorable Mention Daly, Oklahoma All-State. If Dakin Rackley would step forward, please. Okay, Dakin, that's going to be a long list, but well-deserved list. Dakin was selected as OCA All-Star, the OBCA All-Region All-Star. Now, when I say that, that's kind of a huge deal. OBCA All-Star, they pick 11 kids, all classes in our region. This region includes all the Norman schools, Tuttle, Moore, Duncan. It's a huge honor, and Dakin made that team. To kind of put it in context, 2 years ago, the MVP was Trey Young of this all-region. So Dakin is a huge honor to get OBCA all-region, and there is actually a certificate. Coach, will you grab a certificate for the OBCA all-region? Dakin was also selected as OBACA All-Star. They take the top 10 in the whole class to pick this team. He was named Little All Season. 2A Daly, Oklahoma All-State, which is only 5 in the whole class of 2A were selected for that. And he was also the Grady County MVP. I got a story here about Dakin. Well, this is probably the most impressive out of all this. During Christmas break, I had an awesome practice plan. I was going to run the kids a lot. I was really excited about it. Just couldn't wait to get to the gym because I knew it was going to be a conditioning day. We start practice, and wouldn't you know, the power goes out. So there I am, trying to think of what am I going to do with these kids. We can't really play basketball. Had all this practice plan. So in my house, when the power goes out, my 5-year-old always wants to play hide and go seek. So that automatically brainstorm. I was like, hey, we'll just play hide and go seek, team building. So as we started playing this hide and go seek game, everybody's finding everybody, but there's one kid that we can't find. He happens to be 6'7". How do you lose a 6'7" kid in the gym? Nobody could find him. And they're like, Coach, we can't find him. We can't find him. So I go looking for him. He's the hide and go seek champ, by the way. It's amazing how he hides. But he hid perfectly in the locker room. He looked like our locker room was a mess. There was a shirt and a pair of jeans. I didn't know that was his arms and his legs there. But Dakin Rackley was the hide and go seek champ. All right, individual awards. The first award I'm going to give out was the most improved. This young man did a great job both seasons for us. He really improved this year. He had an effective field goal percentage of 52.7. He had 8 points per game, led the team in assists and steals, and some of the best blocks on the team. Nick Birchfield. All right, Offensive Player of the Year. This young man had a three-point percentage of 37.4. He led the team in free throw percentage at 80.9, averaged 15.8 points per game, and really improved on defense, which kind of helped his offense also. Cooper Shirley. We call this next award Feast Award. We have an acronym that we came up throughout the year that we kind of lived by. FEAST stands for family, effort, attitude, selflessness, and talking. And each one of those we broke down throughout the season, and I've never had a team own an acronym more than these guys. We broke it out by it, we talked by it, we lived by it. This award goes to this man. We actually charted it throughout practices and games. At the end of each game, these young ladies would chart it throughout the game, which I know wasn't easy, but they would do that for us. And then after every game, we announced it, and we kept record of who had the most games. So out of 30 games, this young man got almost half the games. James Overton. Okay, Defensive Player of the Year. This young man didn't have the stats that really jumped off the chart at you. But every game that we go into, I always put him on their best player. He's a lockdown guy. He would dog the other team's guy, make him tired, relentless. A lot of energy gets wasted, but it's kind of the dirty work that helps our team. About halfway through the season, this young man had a horrific injury. Very devastating, but he stepped up in other ways for our team. He led our team in prayer, was always there on the bench in practice, almost to the point where it was like he was another coach for us out there really getting after it. And then he came back. He made a miraculous comeback. I didn't know if he could do the same thing that he did at the beginning of the year. It's kind of a question mark. But one thing I did not ever question was his heart. You know, even on one leg and a half of the other one, he gave it all he had. And he ended up doing the same thing and making a playoff run that he did at the beginning of the year. He had 1.2 steals per game, 3.3 rebounds, and 5.9 points per game. Mr. Dane Brummel. Our last award of the evening is our MVP. Out of all the awards I've given, this young man very easily could have won every award. He was our heart and soul of our team. He led our team. He led us in points per game, 18.4. Led us in rebounds, 8.7. Had 2.7 blocks. Constantly encouraging his teammates, helping whenever he could. Our MVP is Dakin Rackley. We have some basketballs for our seniors. Would Dakin Rackley and James Overton make your way over here? Dakin will be further in his career playing basketball at Seminole State. He had a full ride there. We wish him the best. I know he'll do good. James, another great senior. These two guys, I can't tell you enough. What they've done for our program really took us to the next level. James has been with me for a few years now. He does all the dirty work. They lead by example. They lead in the locker room. These two guys will be greatly missed. As I close out the speech, it was a great season. I can't, as a coach, you always dream about making the state tournament, and these guys made that realization for me. The journey I'm going to remember the most, guys. Dinner at teams' houses, hooping through the night, where a bunch of screaming kids behind us. The gifts you guys gave me for the baby shower, the love that you showed my family, little things that means a lot to me. So I appreciate everything you guys have done. We return, 17 players. Sky's the limit for next season. I thank you guys. Now, as much as I'm going to miss these two seniors that are graduating, we're in trouble with losing our two managers. These two girls are also two seniors. I don't know how we're going to replace them at all. They've done so much for us. I got you two gifts, or the team has gotten you two gifts. Thank you, girls. Hey, we also have banners we're passing out that we're hanging up in the gym to these guys. And other than that, I don't have anything else. Thank you, guys.
Me and James have a few things we want to give to the coaches. We have 2 gift cards for one of the coaches. Coach Beck, will you come up here too, please? And then we have a poster for Coach Hill. To what? James. And then
Underneath the bags. No, I'm not.
And then we have 4 pictures from the state tournament or the big house that we'd like to give the coaches too.
Stay up here. Before they go away, I want to present one more thing. I've been very fortunate in the last 2 years to give banners that we hang up in our gymnasium to our softball state tournament team and our football state quarterfinal team, and we normally do that at a basketball game. We didn't want to wait that long, and so I've already had the banner for this team made. And Jeff will have it hanging on the wall by the time we come back for our first basketball game. Coach, you want to unfurl that? You guys might have noticed we put all new banners up this year in the gymnasium, and I appreciate Mr. Sims when I went and asked him if we could do that. And we got this one ordered just as soon as the season was over so we can hang up in the gym. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Before I let you go tonight, there are a couple things that I'd like to mention and some people I'd like to thank. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our coaches. Until you've put your livelihood in the hands of 16-year-olds, you have no idea what that job is like. And I did it for a little while, and I never want to do it again, which gives me that much more respect every Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Saturday that they're out there working for our kids and our community. So I want to say thank you to our coaches. You are appreciated. I want to thank all of our booster clubs for the time that they put in. Coach Brummel said it perfectly. The school provides the needs. Booster Club provides the wants and a few meals along the way. And without singling her out, I'm going to do it anyway. But if you were at the night we made it to the state basketball tournament, there was Melinda Morrison in the lobby taking shirt orders. Literally had the print ready to go. And that's just an example of what our booster clubs do to help our programs and to help our kids and to create money for the things they need. So I want to say thank you to all the booster clubs for the time they put in. And Mike Morrison, I'm embarrassed that it's taken me 7 years to specifically call you out about what you do for these kids in those pictures. Every year I walk out in the lobby after this and I think, dadgummit, I forgot Mike again. Do you know Renee Dacus told me that your brother, correct, Renee, still has his from 1993. 26 years. And you're not getting, when Max graduates, don't think you're off the hook, okay? This is a tradition here, and you have created it. And I like to see the kids' faces light up when they walk in every year and see those pictures, and I'm amazed because I can't draw. So I'm just amazed at your ability, but you're very much appreciated. And I say that for the past 30 years, however long you've been doing it. Thank you very much for doing that for our kids. Like the coaches, I want to thank our parents for giving your kids to these guys, and they push them hard, and some days aren't pleasant. Some days aren't fun. Practice is not supposed to be fun. When you work hard in practice, you do it because the games are fun. And I think sometimes we forget that along the way. So remember that when your coaches are pushing your kids, they're doing it because they love them and they care about them and they're trying to get the best out of them. And I believe that with all my heart with every one of these guys sitting over here. And ladies. The crowds that we have come to our games sometimes, I've said this about football for a long, long time. If we had a game in Alaska, we'd have 500 people show up. I have no doubt. But I have to just mention this briefly. When we went to Edmond North to play in the state quarterfinals, I sat on the end by our students, which is the best student crowd we'd ever had at a basketball game. And I won't lie, I was a little jittery because always wanted to be a part of a state tournament basketball team, but having a kid playing made it that much tougher. But I remember looking at Mr. Whitrock, and I'm not even sure if he's here, but I looked at him and I said, look at that. I never thought I would see something like that. We filled up Edmond North's gym with Minco fans, and it was incredible. And the kids noticed it. That helped them. And it's not just that night, it's the state softball tournament. I show up to that, and I look around, and I'm like, look how many people have showed up to support these kids. It is appreciated by me as the athletic director, by me as a parent, and I think I speak for the coaches when I say thank you for coming out and supporting these kids no matter what. We appreciate it. I want to kind of make one point with our kids, and really all of you before I let you go. There's... I think what we all want out of our athletic teams is to be represented well. There's one constant when it comes to Minco athletics, and it's not the players because they come and go. It's not even the coaches because they come and go. It certainly is not the principal or the athletic director. It's not even the superintendent. It's not the uniforms. It's not the schedule. The one constant is the name on the front of the jersey. Students, remember this. Coaches, remember this. You are representing something bigger than yourself. And when the alarm goes off at 5:30 this summer, guys, and you don't really want to go, remember, you're not just going for yourself. You're going for your buddy. You're going for your coach. You're going for your teachers. your parents, and the entire community. That is what makes small school athletics so important to me and so great. Our school is represented very, very well by our athletes every time they take the field or the court, and we should be proud of them for that. And so to the athletes now, I say there's still a lot of work to be done. We had a fantastic year, and I predict we will have fantastic years every year. But never rest on what we've done in the past. There's a lot of work to be done. These coaches spend an enormous amount of their own time in the summer for these kids. And so when that alarm goes off this summer, don't hit the snooze. Crawl out of bed, get up here, and remember you're representing something bigger than yourself, and that's the entire community of Minco. And the jersey says Minco Bulldogs. I appreciate all of you being here tonight. Just a reminder, tomorrow is senior assembly at 1:30, and this Friday, Lord knows I don't want to add another week to it, this Friday is graduation at 7 o'clock, and so I appreciate you being here tonight, and I hope that you're able to come to the rest of the events this week. Thank you guys very much. Have a good evening.